28 Years, The Bone Temple is out in theaters this weekend. We have Ralph Fiennes returning for his role as Dr. Ian. So this movie takes place pretty much right where the 28 Years Later leaves off, with Spike has met this group of very interesting characters, all kind of deeming this blonde hair look, and they call themselves the Jimmies. Now, they have a pretty important role as we go through this story, but Spike ends up joining them and following them as they are working their way through the mainland, basically just causing terror wherever they go. We have the lead, Jimmy, Sir Jimmy, as he likes to be called, who's basically trying to manipulate these others, that he is essentially the son of Old Nick, or Satan, and he's on a mission, and they have to be essentially his fingers as they are working their way through the land. But at the same time, we're also bouncing between Spike's story as well as the Doctor's story, as he is connecting with the Alpha Samson that we see from 28 Years Later. And as he's going through his journey with Samson, we're kind of getting some interesting clues. We're getting insight into, what the infected see, what they are experiencing as being infected, and the Doctor's trying to uncover, what is causing the infection, not so much causing it, but what is the infection actually doing to a human's body, and what are ways that we could potentially cure it. So he's kind of reverse engineering it in a unique way. And of course, the path of the Doctor and the Jimmies eventually crosses, which is very unique because, it's a lot of just human nature, and, it's kind of defining of, how we once saw the world, and what we viewed the world and people and the order of things, and how it's kind of shaped into this new world that we're in. And I have to say, for 28 Years Later, this whole franchise, this could be my new favorite of the 4 films that we have. I've always been a fan of 28 Days Later, and 28 Weeks Later. So 28 Years Later, I watched it again and enjoyed it more the second watch. But man, this one was quite entertaining. And, as much as we're not really exploring more of the world, but really focusing on these characters on the mainland from this previous movie, it is quite interesting. And I think there's a lot to unpack. Yeah, there are some plot holes. There are some things that, get brought up early on that may not get explored as much. But, they're going to keep making these movies. And once you watch through this, you'll kind of see some stories that we could see in the future. So, yeah, I'm a fan of it. I would encourage, go check this out in theaters this weekend.